All right, this has been a crazy week in the world of mixed martial arts. A lot has happened, but quite possibly nothing was more surprising than finding out that this man, Jimmy Flick, one of the most exciting up-and-comers in the UFC and at 125 pounds in general, announced his retirement over the weekend. So I'm happy to bring Jimmy on to talk all about this decision. Jimmy, how are you, man?
I'm doing pretty good, man. I'm happy with my decision, and I'm happy to move forward with my life and the new journey that I'm trying to create for my family and myself.
That's great. I got to tell you, I have so many questions for you, sir. But first off, Saturday night in Oklahoma, you get in the cage at Saturday's FCF event, the same organization where you captured their title a little over a year ago, and you made this surprising announcement. So can I just ask what it feels like less than 48 hours later? Like, do you feel a big weight lifted off your shoulders? Like, what is that like right now?
Yes, a lot, man. And if anybody would have known what I went through over the last week on making this decision, it's life-changing. It's hard. It was tough. And I cried and cried and cried for many hours. And I went through the pros, I went through the cons, and there's a lot to it. And it's not something that I've done overnight. I didn't just wake up and say, hey, I don't want to fight no more. Over the last month, we've had a fight booked, and we're supposed to fight the champ's brother. This is the 125-pound champ of my division's little brother. The biggest story and biggest opportunity I have to make bigger waves in the UFC and go on farther in my career. And I go back to when I fought Cody Durden, and I go back to 2020 where I gave it everything I got. I had multiple goals. If you listen to my speech, I had 3 goals, and I reached those 3 goals. I wanted to create new goals, but the UFC is not in those new goals. And I tried to wake up every morning and tell myself that I wanted more goals in the UFC. And I kept pushing myself, and I kept waking up. And every day I was at gym, I didn't want to be there. I wanted to be with my kids. I wanted to be with my wife. I was trying to find ways out of it. And I was trying to, figure out what I wanted to do in life. And when I fought Cody Durden and we had this pandemic going, my job gave me like 5 weeks off where I could train full time. I've never had that opportunity to train full time in my life. And so I got to be at home with my kids. I got to train. I got to come home. I got to train. I got to come home. And it's a lot harder than people think to do that nonstop. But knowing that after I'm done fighting, I still have to go back to work. In my speech, I said the UFC was not looking out for me. I need to justify what I mean by that. The UFC never did me wrong. I love everything the UFC did for me. I love the goals that I got to get to the UFC, the person it made me. But what I mean by that is there's no benefits of me beating my body up no more being in the UFC. We have no 401k. We have no benefits. We have no fallback. Fighters are too stupid to unionize, and it'll never happen because there's other fighters that will fight for that money. I love the money I got, but this is just to go show everybody that money does not buy happiness. And I never fought for fame, and I never fought for money. That's not why I fought. And I told people I want to write a book, and I've been writing this book, and I've never had an ending to my book. And now I have an ending, but I also have to tell people what got me into mixed martial arts, what strived me to do this. Well, my dad and my brother had a lot to do with it. We got into this sport together. My dad gave me my work ethic. My dad put me in sports. My dad gave up a lot. But also I lived a very, very, very tough life. I went through life without water. I went through life without electric. I seen my dad beat my mom. I've seen my mom go through hell. I've seen my brothers and sisters drag their life to the gutter from drugs. And that's what motivated me not to be one of them people being the youngest. And now that I've been losing time from my family, and I find out what comes from fighting and what more is going to come into fighting and what more I have to do to be the best and probably still work a full-time job. And people don't understand that. And when I do that, it's taken away from my family. It's taken away from my girls. I put my girls in the gym with me. Why they have to be there, why I have more time to train. They don't want to be there all the time. I got them there for 5-6 hours a time after I've been at work all day. They haven't even seen me. And then I'm going to take them to the gym and have them play in the gym while I train more. And I just keep missing time from them. And I got a long story to tell, and that's why I'm going to write my book. More people will understand what happened with my father, my brother, my life, my journey. And I want to be a family man, and I'm okay with going to work, settling down with a $40,000 job a year, and seeing where life takes me and my family, and build a road for my girls and see what they want to do in life. And social media just, I guess, does not understand it, dude. These people out here are savages, man. I tell you, the stuff I'm reading, dude, is just like, it's crazy, man. And like, it's like the farther I get, the worse that's going to get, you know? And people don't care about me, my feelings, what I've been going through. But I do, and my wife does, and she knows. And I've lost the want to fight. I've lost the urge to wake up every morning and train, and that's the story. And, you know, I didn't get to tell it all. And there's even more to the story. And that's why I'm writing a book. And I'm hoping everything that I accomplished in MMA and in the UFC will help further my book. And people want to know my story. And I want to go talk to kids and tell them my story and mentor kids. And yesterday, that was the first step. Yesterday, I went to a football camp, and I told these kids about my story. I told them about my goals and having new goals. And it's okay to accomplish your goals and move on to new goals. And that's what I'm doing in life. And now I want to get my story out there and let people know. And just, you know, money does not buy happiness.
There's a lot to unpack with what you just said. And I know when we last spoke, you talked about your loss to Ray Rodriguez in 2019, and you were thinking about retirement even then, because, you know, you had your job, 401k, you and your wife are smart with your money, and you said you were doing pretty well without fighting. So I know this last week, it's really started to take shape, this decision, but how long has this been on your mind? Like, is this something that you've been sort of weighing with since then? Like, even when you got back and made that run to the UFC?
I've always thought about it. I've always thought about how long my journey was going to go. And like I said, my goal was to make that UFC walk. That was one of my main goals. And I did it. And I did it in good fashion. But like I said, you go back to the dirt and fight. And a lot of people don't understand with fighting too. If you don't fight, you don't get paid, you know? Like, so we can do this stuff for months in and then get there, and everything that we did to get there gets put on hold. So 15 minutes after they tell me and Cody Durden ain't not fighting because of pink eye, my first thought's like, am I getting paid? I made weight, you know, I should at least get my show money, you know? And they tell me, yeah, you're getting your show money, you know, but you still got to pay your manager. You still lost all this stuff, you know? And then they're like, oh, well, you can fight him in 2 weeks. Well, what about your health, Jimmy? How much weight did you put back on after that fight? You know, can you do it? Is it mentally going to drain you? Like, what's it going to do to your family? Nobody asks those questions. Nobody ever does. I literally had about an hour to decide what I wanted to do. I felt like that's all I had, you know? And so I had to make calls to my wife. I had to make calls to my manager, my coach. And immediately I decided I wanted that fight. I wanted that win. I wanted to make that walk. So what did I do? I told my coach, I said, you wrap my hands up right now, and we're going next door and we're working out. That's what I was supposed to do tonight. I was supposed to fight. So we're going to go over here and we're going to work out. And we go over there and we work out. I don't eat pizza. I don't drink beer. I don't go out that night. I go over there. I go to sleep. I wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning. I can't sleep. I get up. I go run 4 miles. I tell myself mentally, he's not stronger than me. He's not going to want this more than me. So we're going to fight at 125 again. I'm going to make this cut. I'm going to be mentally tougher than him, and I'm going to win my UFC debut. And that's what I did. That Sunday when I got home, we weighed in on Friday. That Sunday when I got home, I had one good meal with my family. I was 148 pounds. That's 22 pounds in over 48 hours I put on after weigh-ins. And I had 12 days to turn around and cut it again. Monday morning, I was back at the gym, 5 a.m., training, back to work, you know. Then my job told me, you know, focus on the fight. We'll let you off 2 more weeks. My job let me have that opportunity. My job opened up the door for me to reach my dream, and it was to make that walk. And I sacrificed so much, and my girls went through it. You know, they're like, you're back. You know, when daddy comes back from fights, what do? Daddy takes them shopping. Daddy spends time with them. But no, daddy had to turn back around and kill it for 2 more weeks before Christmas. But daddy won $80,000, you know. That's life changing, you know. People's like, you took that much money home. Baby, that's not how much money daddy took home, you know. That's how much daddy got paid. You pay taxes, you pay your manager, all the time lost, everything, you know. You don't bring much in, you know, but you keep striving for more, and you keep striving for more. But I keep losing more time with my family. I keep losing more time with my wife. In 5 years, if I reach that UFC gold, do I have what I want more than life? Do I have my girls? Do I have my wife? She sacrificed 10 years already. Today, we've been married 9 years. Not one time has she told me to hang up the gloves. Not one time has she told me she wants me to live a different life. And she has goals. Does anybody care about her goals? I do. But nobody else does, you know. And I'm not going to lose my wife. I'm not going to lose my kids over something that I might reach, something that might make me more money. I'm okay with going to work, having something established. Like I said, I have land. I have a house. Me and my wife want to build a house on that land. My wife wants to work. She wants to provide for her family as well. With me working a job and training constantly, it's all me. It's all been me. So over the time, ever since that fight, I told him I wanted to take time off. I wanted to spend time with my family. How long do you think it took for them to offer me a fight again? Not long, you know. And then here I am trying to debate what I want to do. When am I going to fight? And then I got a fight booked. So I took it. I like the May 8th. I like the champ's brother. I think I'm excited. I wasn't excited. I tried to push myself. I tried to justify why I was doing what I was doing. Over Easter weekend, I had a conversation with my father. I haven't talked to my father very much. And that conversation made a big difference on me in life. I thought my dad was going to change his life to come be in my corner in the UFC, to be there like I told people on the Tuesday Night Contender. That's just a little bit of my story. And I thought that would change my dad's life. Thought it would change my brother's life. Thought let them know, you know, I still want y'all there. I want y'all in my life. I believe in y'all. I love y'all. Like, we did this together, and it didn't make a difference. So I found out I was fighting for all the wrong reasons. I was still fighting to try to get my dad back, to get my brother back, to have my family there again, for my girls to see my dad, to see my brother. And it didn't matter, man. It didn't matter. I announced my retirement, and I called my dad and my mom to tell them before. I still haven't heard from my dad. He's never asked me anything. And I'm not fighting for him no more. I'm fighting for my kids. I'm fighting for my wife, and I'm not going to lose them. And they're way more than what fighting's ever meant to me. And that's why I'm going to tell my story, and people need to know what goes on in fighters' lives. And the outcome of what my future is what I care about with my family, my loved ones, and everybody. And I just hope everybody supports me. And like I said, social media is crazy. And people say, like, my weekend with the stuff I got, the messages I've been getting, most of them are supportive. But the stuff people say, that's why I got to get my story out. You know, people don't know what us fighters go through. I've been doing this since I was 18. I've been cutting weight since Sorry.
It's okay.
Okay. I've been cutting weight since the 2nd grade. And yeah, I just, I woke up. God darn it.
It's all right, man.
And it's been life-changing, winning the way I won and everything. And now it's just, I figured out, I was fighting for all the wrong reasons. And now I'm excited to tell my story, and hopefully I'll help somebody in the future with telling my story.
So if you didn't have that conversation with your dad, do you think we'd be talking about this right now?
I can't say 100%, but it would have been a big difference, because like I said, the Monday morning I woke up from Easter, it was life-changing. I had something on my heart that I had to get out. And I called my wife, and my wife, she was in tears just hearing me speak about it. And she's just like, where's this coming from? And I had been dropping hints over the past couple months that I just felt like I wasn't striving like I used to, like I had started to lose the want. But my wife, as always, kept pushing me, motivating me. Tell me, no, it's just a little slump right now. You're always going to push through it. You always do this. We're just so far out from fight camp right now. You're pushing yourself so hard. You're so excited. You want to beat the champ's brother, and then after having that conversation with my dad and seeing my dad, and nothing's made a difference, I found out, I was fighting for all the wrong reasons. I think if my dad would have reached out more and had been there, it would have been great. After I won my Cody Durden fight, my dad didn't call me. I seen him at Christmas, and then he talked. They wanted to know more about how much money I won, what I was going to do with it, And my family's going to hate me more and more and more when I tell my story. And it's like, it makes me the bad guy. But I'm just telling the truth. But it also made me the person I am today. It makes me the husband I am to my wife, the father I am to my kids. And that makes me happier than anything. And I got to get my story out. It's a sad story, but it justifies my life. It justifies my decisions. And I know more people probably go through more than what I go through and have, and conquer more things. But some people, they need to hear stories like this to help them conquer their goals. And I've conquered my goals, and I'm going to conquer more goals. It's just not with MMA no more.
What would you say is like the more freeing feeling right now? Is it the fact that you've crossed over, you've made that decision to retire, or is it, and as painful as this might be, and I can see it in your eyes and hear it in your voice as you talk about it, knowing where you stand with your dad, being able to kind of let that go? Like, what's the more, I guess, freeing feeling right now?
Just getting it out there. That's what makes me so free, is to tell everybody. I've been bottling it up and using that, to motivate me to push. And I don't know what I've done to my body. Nobody knows what we do to the insides, from the mental toughness to the training to the weight cutting to everything. And I just feel free. I was so happy to just wake up this morning, at 6:30 a.m., instead of 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, to have a cup of coffee, to grab breakfast. My 4-year-old woke up. Daddy got her some milk. Daddy got her cartoons on. It was great. And then I got to go to work, hear from my wife telling me happy anniversary, and just being able to post about my life and my family instead of having to post about sponsors and and training and being at the gym and running 5 miles and just all of it. And it's going to take a lot to really take everything in and for everybody to understand everything as well. But my family knows what's best for me. I know what's best for me. And I don't know what's going to come from this with me and my dad. And that's what sucks the most. But I can't do it no more. I can't keep it bottled up. I can't keep it dug down there anymore. It's going to hurt me in the long run more. And I think that's what would have happened if I would have kept trying to push myself to fight when I didn't want to fight no more. I mean, Francisco's no joke. I knew he wasn't. And I'm devastated that I'm pulling out on him. But the UFC is going to take care of the guy. He's going to get a fight. I would rather do it now than 2 weeks out from the fight, hurt myself from cutting weight because I'm not going to make weight and I'm not motivated to train, or for something to just not be there no more and then give up a week or two out from the fight. So I've got backlash for that. I've got backlash for a lot of things, man. But this isn't retirement to try to get more money. This isn't retirement to go do some other kind of fighting or anything. I might do jiu-jitsu in the future again. I love jiu-jitsu, and that's what got me into this. But this is just not what I want in life, and some people can just not understand it. And the want and the goals – the want's not there. The goals have been accomplished, and I just, that's not what I want in life no more.
How did the UFC react to this information and your decision to call it a career?
I only know what the matchmaker said, Mick Maynard, and from my understanding, he's a supporter. He understands what I'm going through. I'm pretty sure they have other fighters go through this mentally. And that's what a lot of people think this is like, I'm going through something mentally, or I'm scared to fight, or whatever they want to say. Look, I got 20-something pro fights. I fought UFC vet and bare-knuckled world champ fucking Johnny Bedford, a 5-1 underdog, and was supposed to get murdered. I've been finished by Chris Gutierrez with leg kicks. I got knocked out ugly by Ray Rodriguez with an elbow and woke up and flipped off the camera, because I didn't know where I was at, like, that's not it, dude. I'm 16-5 and it's killed or be killed. I only have 3 fights that went to a decision. Like, if the want is not there no more, I'm not going to do that to my family. I'm not going to do that to my coaches, my training partners, everybody that sacrifices everything to help me keep going forward. It's not there no more. And it was a hard way to find out, but I'm happy with that. I'm happy where I'm going to go in life. I'm happy where it got me. And I'm just happy to spend time with my family and let people know the truth. And and if you're a fighter and that's not your want to no more, then don't do it. We don't have to put ourselves through this no more. And 9 times out of 10, yes, fighters are going to have to get a job after. If not, they open a gym. Well, I like coaching people, but a lot of stuff comes from gym, mentally, physically. Same thing with families. I've seen it. I've been at multiple gyms, and, if that's not your desire, you don't want to do that either just to make money. I got a great job. A lot of people told me I was going to make it in life because I dropped out of school. Did I not only make it in life, I got a job that pays for me and my family. I got land. I got a house. And then I made my dreams. I made my goals. I reached what I wanted to, and I stopped on my terms, nobody else's terms. These fighters go out at the wrong time. We got Chris Lieben going to bare knuckle. We got Chuck Liddell that went back and fought Tito for a third time that should have never happened. He should have never even lost that fight in his career. But it's also obviously because of money. They didn't make the right investments. You know, they didn't do the right stuff. And you got Anderson Silva, 11, 15-time, whatever time world champ, that like he's not even on like got a fallback. So he's going to boxing to try to make one more run at a couple $1 million, you know? Like, who's to say where I'm going to be? Just a 125er that, you know, we don't get paid the best money, you know. Like, we've been more exciting here lately, but it doesn't change the paychecks, you know, unless you get that bonus. And I can't guarantee that bonus every time. And then, you know, Mr. Sam takes half of that bonus away from me, you know. Like, it's crazy, man. There's a lot to it. It's been going on for a long time. And it comes down really to what I've lost with my family and what I've gained with my family and what I want to gain with my family before it's too late.
Are you out of the USADA testing pool yet? Have you taken that step yet?
I got to ask them if I can pull out, like, because the way they do it, it's like every 3 months you sign up. And I don't know if you can go in and exit out because I've already put all my stuff in there for like the next 3 months. But I will not be doing the other month, and I'll look into it. Yeah, as soon as I can get out of it, I'll be out of it. And that's another thing too. So Monday, when I was really going over my decision and everything, I called my coach and I'm like, look, I'm not coming to the gym today. I'm really going to, you know, set on this for a couple days and find out what I want to do. You know, if I take a few days off from gym, talk with my wife, my family, and everybody, I want to see what I want to do. And 2 hours later, I get a call, UFC or USADA's at my gym. You got a drug test, Jimmy. Okay, I'm on my way. So go over there and do my drug test. And it's just like, man, this is not what I want out of life, man. I mean, the drug test is not a problem. I'm clean. I've been drug tested like 10 times from the UFC already, you know, and that's not an issue. But just all the stuff that comes with it, like you said, the UFC whereabouts. Everybody's like, how the UFC know you're here? Like, UFC knows where I'm at almost all times, y'all. Almost at all times, you know. I did a live auction for a family member friend of mine that you know, got in a motorcycle accident back on January 30th. I did this fundraiser, and I was an auctioneer, and I was the one auctioning stuff off and doing this auction, and my phone kept blowing up during this auction. And I told the people on the mic, I was like, man, my phone keeps ringing. And they're like, it's probably your car warranty, you know. Everybody gets those car warranty calls. So as a joke, I answered it, you know, and I picked it up and I'm like, hello, and it's on the mic and you can hear, this is blah, blah, blah from USADA. We're at your house. You're not here, Jimmy. I'm like, oh, I'm right down the street down here doing this auction. Come down here. So they come in, and so then I tell everybody on the mic, I got 100 people here at this auction we're doing live. I said, all right, UFC's on their way and they're going to drug test me. He said, so I'm going to start drinking a lot of water right now. I said, I have to fill out this paperwork. I'll get my drug test, and we'll go back and forth between this auction. And everybody was cool with it. You know, it was a cool experience. Everybody got to see it. But literally during a fundraiser that I'm doing for somebody that was going through something, I got USADA showing up and drug testing me, man. And it's like, you can't make this stuff up, man. And it's like, I mean, if you really want that for your life, great. You know, a lot of people are going to take it. They're going to run with it. They're going to enjoy it. And I just found out it's not for me. It's not for my family. And there's more to the story. And like I said, I've gave y'all some of it. And in the book, it's going to have way more. People will understand it. And I'm also going to do an audio book. So when I do my audio and I read my book, y'all are going to hear the passion, the pain of everything. And it goes all the way back from when I was 6 years old, and I noticed that I wasn't going to live a normal life. At 6 years old, there's something happened in my life, and when that happened, I knew I was not going to be a normal kid. And ever since then, I told myself, though, I was going to accomplish something in life. I didn't know what it was, didn't know what it would be. I just knew I was athletic I loved sports, and I wasn't going to be a nobody. And I've accomplished that. And then now I want to tell my story.
One thing that has sort of stemmed from all of this, and you mentioned it earlier, and I've seen a lot of the reactions to your retirement, was the unionization talk. Like, what would have happened if we unionized and did all these things? So I'm curious to know, like, it doesn't seem like it's happening anytime soon. A few years back, there were conversations, there were different groups that were trying to make it happen. If we were anywhere close to a union, like, or some sort of association where the fighters could come together, like if we were even sniffing a finish line in that in any way, would that have changed your approach to whether or not you were going to retire or not?
100%, man. If we have a fallback, and that's what people don't understand, we don't have a fallback. So therefore, I got to chase my dreams, but also keep my job to have a fallback for my family. But that is not why I made my decision on what I did. And that's why I wanted to make it clear that the UFC never did me wrong. And that's what people were saying too. Oh, Dana stiffed him. Dana did that. No, they did everything that they said they were going to do in their contract. Everything that I agreed to. There was nothing that I wanted more or anything. It's just the fact that once I got there, I experienced it, and I realized that it's only going to take more from me, and I'm still going to have to keep my job to take care of my family and my loved ones. And as the person I am and what I strive for, I'm only going to train harder. I'm only going to want to do stuff more and more and more and more to accomplish more. And I want to put that towards my family and my kids and my wife. I mean, how many times have I told y'all that my wife was opening up a business and we were working on that? Still there, guys. Why do you think? Because of me. Because the fights keep coming. They're never going to stop. They're never going to let you do. You can't just go enjoy life sometimes and be like, hey, man, can I take a year off? Because I'm going to work anyway. I mean, that's what I do. And no, that's not how it works. And it took a lot. And like I said, I had good days. I had bad days. And I thought I was finding ways to motivate myself. But when I had that talk with my dad, and I found out that I was fighting for all the wrong reasons. And I need to fight for my girls and fight for my family and what they want to do in life. And that's what I'm going to do.
Couple more things, and I appreciate you giving me so much time. It sounds to me like you are completely content with this decision, but I have to ask because we've seen MMA retirements in the past. Most of them do not stick. So I'll approach it this way. Is there anything that will get you back? Like, let's just say, like, you and your dad work things out. He gets his stuff together. You guys get closer. We have a union down the line. Like, will anything bring you back, or are you done? Like, have we seen your final fight 100%?
I believe so. I'm 30 years old, and I did everything I wanted, and the desire was not the money. It was not the fame. And by the time they do unionize, or by the time me and my dad work things out, I think it'll be too far down the road. I'm not the type that wants to come out of retirement. I already got somebody from bare knuckle. Like, is that your interest? Or you want to do bare knuckle? I'm like, no, I don't want to do bare knuckle. Like, are you freaking stupid? Like no, like that's not why I got out of it. And like, if I want to fight, I would fight in the UFC. That's the biggest stage in the world. It's the stage everybody wants to get to and be. And like, when you get there, getting there is not always the problem. It's staying there. Well, for me, getting there was the problem. It took me 12 years, 10 years as a professional. But I started the journey 12 years ago in 2008, training, 2009 when I started fighting. So as an amateur. So I spent a lot of time and everything into this sport and gave it everything I got. Now that I got there, I figured out what it was and what it's going to be and what else it's going to take. And that's not what I want. If I didn't have 2 kids already and a wife, yeah, of course, it'd be a lot easier, but that stuff comes, it happens. But that's what motivated me to keep pushing. If I wouldn't have had wife and kids, would I still have made it? I don't know. I mean, I was partying like crazy when I first started fighting too, and you're 3-0 and you think you're on top of the world as a professional MMA fighter, there's a lot that comes with it, and then I've tried opening up a gym early in my career, figured out I didn't want to do that, got back to fighting. I've been working. Now I have a job that supports me, that I love. I'm happy to come in and work 8 to 4:30 without training so hard. People like, I've been doing it for so long. You don't have to cut weight. Oh, I can go to Quick Trip at break and go grab me something to eat. Oh, snap. Like, there's just so many things to it, man. But family was the most important. And what I went through with my family growing up and where I'm at now with my family. And I really only talk to one of my sisters. 2 of my brothers, we don't talk at all. One of my brothers is just, without throwing him under the bus. And it's just like, I lived a different life than most families and most people. And I know what I want in life. And I want my kids, I want my wife, and I want them to be happy with me. And I'm happy now, and I'm happy to get my story out, and happy to let people know and see where life takes me.
Sounds like the book is going to be quite the read, quite the listen once that comes out. Hopefully that comes out sooner rather than later. People purchase it and get it ready to go. But last thing for me, what do you want to say to your supporters, your wife, your daughters, the fans that have been on your side, your coaches, teammates, fellow fighters, to those who have been along this ride with you from the very beginning? And I know that it's kind of like a roller coaster ride. Some stay on, some decide to jump off. What do you want to say to everybody who's been there since day one for you?
And I can't say how much I thank and I love everybody. And like I tell people all the time about this, like you see people and they're like, oh, that guy's wearing a tap out shirt. He's probably never fought. Well, guess what? If that guy doesn't support fighting and that guy doesn't buy a tap out shirt or buy our fight shirts or buy tickets to watch us or buy these pay-per-views, fighters don't make no money. Fighters can't fight. So we need those people. We need those fans. Everybody that shares my stuff, they're like, well, Jimmy, I can't make the fight. I can't afford a shirt. Well, you keep hitting that share button. I really appreciate that. You might share it to somebody that can buy that shirt. Somebody else that might not see it that can buy that shirt or want to sponsor me. I started with one sponsor as a professional fighter. I had one. I'm ending with over 30 sponsors. And you know how many of them paid me before this fight? Multiple. I call them, every one of them individually. And I had to tell them, I feel obligated that I still owe y'all. I'm not fighting. I'm not doing what I told y'all I was going to do. I was going to go fight. I can't advertise them in the UFC. I can only advertise them on social media. I can only thank them on social media. I can only thank them in certain interviews, and they're giving up their money, their time and everything. So I call all of them and I tell them what's going on, personally let them know what's happening in my life. And I will give their sponsorship money back. Not one asked for it back. Not one cared. Every one of them just wants me to be happy. And they love my story. They want my book. They want to read it. They want to hear my story. They want to keep supporting me. They want to support my wife with my wife's goals, and it just makes me so happy, and it's heartwarming, and it helps cover up all these negative comments. And everybody, like I have a buddy that told me, you need to just delete your social media. I'm not going to delete my social media. I'm not running from nothing. I'm not scared of nothing. I'm being honest with people. And that's a lot of people's problems. They're not honest. Later on after this, I got big interviews. After interviewing with you, I got an interview with Elliot Marshall, a guy I looked up to and watched fight in the UFC. He wants to know my story. He wants to know why. I'm interviewing with this guy named Luke Thomas from CBS Sports and Showtime. They want to know my story. Maybe I can turn my story into a Netflix series. Maybe I can turn my life into something besides fighting. And I'm happy with that. I'm okay with that. But I would have never got there without the fans, the supporters, my wife, my coaches, my training partners, everyone in this sport. And if you see my speech, I made it behold that sponsors really help us. And I wanted people to know, like, if you sponsor a fighter, you are amazing. And you help us reach goals that we would never be able to reach without y'all. Same thing with fans and anybody that just shares a post, likes a post. And it's just all the support combined is awesome. It's amazing. And it would have never made me the person that I am or helped me reach the goals that I reached without all that. And that's what people need to realize. Without fans, the fans that hate on you, the fans that love you, as long as they're there commenting, paying money, watching, that's all that matters. And that's all the UFC cares about too, like getting fans to watch. And that's why Conor McGregor became the best in the world. And I said in my interview, I don't want to be the next Conor McGregor. I don't want to be the next Demetrius Johnson. People's like, who's to say you were going to be the next Conor McGregor, the next Demetrius Johnson? That's not what I'm saying. Those are other people's goals, y'all. Like, I mean, if that was my goal, then what would have stopped me from trying to become that? But that wasn't my goals. That's what I was trying to explain to people. And that, like, no, I don't know if I would have. But if I would have became that, that's not what I wanted for my family, is what I was saying, So I just want to say thank you to all the fans, the supporters, guys like you that interview us, that want to know the story, that, get the truth out there, because too many people want to jump to stipulations and all kinds of stuff. And the truth, it just needs to be told. And if it wasn't for people like you and people that do these interviews, it wouldn't be possible. And I just thank everybody for the support, the continued support. And please just look out for my book. I really want to get it out by the end of the year. And I will be dropping quotes from my book about life. And like I said, one of my quotes is, at 6 years old is when I realized that I was going to live a different life than most people. And the rest of that story will be in my book for understand what I seen when I was 6 years old that changed my life.
Jimmy, congratulations on the decision, on an exciting career. I think what you are doing is nothing short of amazing as a husband and a father myself. So enjoy this extra time with your family. Best of luck to helping your wife achieve her goals, her dreams. And I truly appreciate you coming on here to talk about it. When the book's getting ready to drop, let me know. We'll get you back on here. But all the best to you, Jimmy. Thank you for the great fights, the great finishes. Thank you for the exciting style you brought to the cage for so many years. And all the best to you, man. Thank you so much.
Hey, thank y'all. I really appreciate it. And I'll let you know as soon as possible. Appreciate y'all.